Today's video dives into some of the coolest and most budget-friendly prefab homes available right now. The search for that perfect blend of affordability, smart design, and actual availability is still going strong, and it turns out the prefab housing space is way bigger than expected. More companies are jumping into the scene all the time, and just when it feels like everything's been covered, something new pops up and changes the game. After reviewing hundreds of these builds, it's clear that different people are looking for different things, and it's impossible to make everyone happy. There's always going to be a range of opinions on price, size, shape, materials, and pretty much every detail. That said, this one might have broad appeal. These homes look great and come in at a price point that a lot of people are going to appreciate. The spotlight today is on a company that's offering a lineup of compact and efficient prefab homes, and they've been at it for about a decade. Over the years, they've worked on more than just homes. They've also put together cafes, saunas, restaurants, and guest houses. The discovery actually happened while scrolling on Instagram, and the designs immediately stood out. But what really makes them different isn't just how the homes look, it's how they're made. They build almost entirely with wood. While that might not sound like anything revolutionary, what sets them apart is the fact that they're sourcing and preparing the wood themselves. According to their own info, they cut down spruce and pine, dry it using their own process, and treat it to resist pests. Properly drying the wood helps keep the home in shape for years, and they use a patented joining system that adds both strength and flexibility, strong enough to handle earthquakes and major storms. Handling their own lumber gives them a real advantage. When prices spiked back in 2020, a lot of builders got hit hard with rising costs. This company likely didn't feel that same pinch, since they weren't relying as heavily on outside suppliers. It's unclear whether they own the land where they harvest or if they source nearby, but having that control means they can keep things affordable and stable. Of course, the trade-off might be in volume. They probably don't crank out as many homes per year as bigger builders who buy pre-cut lumber in bulk. But that's fine. What they offer instead is quality and control. They've got a selection of pre-designed models, but also offer full custom builds for anyone who wants something tailored to specific needs and price range. They even share the payment breakdown: 50% to begin, 20% after the frame is built, 20% before the interior is completed, and the final 10% is due once the home is installed. And yes, visits to the factory can be arranged for anyone curious to see the process in person. Now on to the actual homes. There are 9 models available on the site right now, but this video is going to highlight a few that really stand out, starting with the smallest one. At just 236 square feet, the Oslo is compact but makes an immediate impression with its sharp, modern roofline and sleek exterior. The design combines darker sides and roof with lighter wood highlights on the front and back, giving it serious curb appeal. Entry is through a side door, and stepping inside reveals a simple studio-style layout. Space is tight, but it's smartly used. There's room for a bed along one wall, and a compact kitchen with a small peninsula sits across from it. In between is the main living area, and at the back is the bathroom with a shower, toilet, and sink. For a home this small, multifunctionality is essential. A sleeper sofa or foldable bed would go a long way in keeping the space open during the day. The Oslo is offered in 3 tiers: basic, upgraded comfort, or premium, so you can choose your finishes and features based on what works for you. The standout feature here is definitely the exterior. It's a head-turner, and even though it's the smallest model, it doesn't look basic. Next up is the Nordic, which takes things up to 334 square feet. It still keeps that cozy cabin look that many people ask for but adds a bit more room and a great feature: a lofted sleeping area. One of the best parts of this model is the wall of 6 windows on one end, which floods the inside with natural light and makes the home feel more open. Of course, opinions vary on window count. Some people want as many as possible, while others prefer privacy, especially if the home's being placed in a backyard or near neighbors. Inside, the loft bedroom sits over the bathroom, freeing up more living space below. This setup makes it feel bigger, but lofts aren't for everyone. Some people just don't want to deal with stairs or ladders, especially at night. That's where the Nordic Plus comes in. This upgraded version stretches the space to 420 square feet and adds a full ground floor bedroom. It still has the loft above for extra storage or an extra sleeping area, but now there's an option to sleep downstairs. It keeps the same overall design style and adds more flexibility for couples or small families. Finally, there's the Helsinki, which is the largest model currently offered. It's a full-size home at 1,000 square feet and has a clean, symmetrical layout. The interior is split into two halves. One side is for the main living spaces like the kitchen, dining, and living room, while the other side holds the two bedrooms and bathroom. It's a very straightforward layout but works really well, especially if you like having your living and sleeping spaces separate. This layout also gives more room in the kitchen and lounge areas, which for a lot of people is where most of the time is spent. Whether relaxing, cooking, or entertaining, having extra space in those zones is a big plus. The Helsinki takes longer to build, currently listed at about 8 months from start to finish, so a little more patience is needed compared to the smaller models, but the added space could definitely be worth the wait. Now for the prices. These homes are manufactured in Latvia, but they're available for global delivery. The Oslo starts at around $29,500 in US dollars. The Nordic is about $31,500, the Nordic Plus goes up to $44,500, and the Helsinki is priced at $113,300. These are base prices for the standard version of each model, and if you choose the upgraded finishes or configurations, expect those numbers to climb a bit. This builder stands out for more than just good-looking designs. Their control over their raw materials is a big part of why they can offer such competitive pricing. Very few builders, if any, are cutting and drying their own wood, and it gives them a unique edge. It's still unknown how many homes they produce each year, but hopefully more details on that will be available soon. These homes have a timeless aesthetic with a warm, inviting feel, and the pricing makes them accessible to a wider audience. Whether it's a cozy getaway, a guest house, or even a primary residence, there are solid options in this lineup. More updates on this company will follow as new models and information come out. Thanks for tuning in today. More prefab home features are coming very soon.